Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Doing Bart Things. And today, in this decidedly low rent production, we're going to take a look at the impending release of the 9800X3D. So, um, there's some retailers listing it. I don't know if this is in the US or wherever, not sure. Um, but the prices. So, I was figuring about 400 bucks is probably the sweet spot for the 9800X3D. The 9700X is just over 300 bucks right now, 319 something like that. So I was thinking 9800X at 400 bucks would be, I'm guessing, probably good. And then as time goes on, they'll drop that, like it'll get down to 375 or something. Um, Retailers are showing it out there for 484 and 524, probably for like a pre-order style deal. I'm guessing that this is, um, you know, someone trying to get pre-orders, maybe just hedge their bets as far as pricing goes. Um, Now, so the question is this something that you should buy for 484, 500 bucks, right? That's a little bit tough to answer at this moment. We don't have benchmarks, so we're not exactly sure how it performs. This is a gaming CPU, obviously. It may be the very best gaming CPU that you can get your hands on currently. We still have to also get benchmarks and see how Arrow Lake does. Um, but to me, Arrow Lake is more of a rounded product, right? Arrow Lake is going to appeal to that person that not only games but does work. You know, they may have uses for all those cores and everything. I suspected, and I still suspect, just for gaming, 900 XRD is probably going to be the option. It's probably going to win, but you know, you can ruin anything if you charge too much for it. Basically, is my thought process. So if they're going to charge $500 for this CPU, that kind of makes it. I mean, it makes it not as good a deal as the 7800 XRD for one, or am I really concerned about 5 or 10% more frames per second to pay a lot more? I mean, the 9700X is already just over 300 bucks. Other chips are not nearly as expensive. I mean, the 7700X isn't that bad of a chip, and it's 260, 270 right now. So, um, price can ruin it, right? I think we'll have to see some benchmarks. I will say this: anything over 420 bucks, 430 bucks, I would not consider. Just wouldn't do it. Like that's getting to the point where it's like a bit too much. It it should be around the price of the 12 core non Vcache chip is where it should probably start out at. Um, 449, like they're saying 449 right here. I wouldn't even pay 449 for it, honestly. But that's just me. I think $400 is what this chip should be, and then it should slowly back off from 400 bucks whenever there's a deal or something to somewhere between 350 and 400 bucks. Like, I kind of think that's probably what the price. I think that's what the market will buy it for, and what everybody considers reasonable for a step up from that 300, just over $300 8-core 16-thread non-Vcache part, which is the 9700X. So that's what I think about that. Very interesting though. 120 watt TDP, so that's interesting. That's actually higher than the increased wattage over the 9700X. So interesting. And then 5.2 gigahertz boost clock, so a little bit higher boost clock than before, with a 7800 XRD, I believe, and a really high base clock, 4.7 gigahertz. So, um, oh wait, this is minus 3 megahertz. Interesting. Maybe over the 9700X. Yes, yeah. So it's not going to have as high a clock speed as the 9700X, and that's because of the Vcache, right? Vcache is going to mean you got to be a little more careful, but you know the overclocking potential's there. This chip could probably boost, or could overclock to 5.5, 5.6 gigahertz, I'm guessing. And if it does that with that Vcache core, it'll be a pretty spicy spicy situation for gaming. So that's kind of where the thought is. We'll have to see. Curious about reviews in this one. Really am. I want to see if they've done any improvements with the Vcache, and if all that pans out. But like I said, no benchmarks yet. I would not run out and try to reserve or buy one for $500. Just, it's not worth it. You can look at other chips and get very, very similar performance if you're budget minded. If you just want the best of the best, then wait until Arrow Lake comes out. Get the lay of the land, and then you go buy yourself your 9800 XRD when it's not, marked up to the moon. Or if it still is, hey, you didn't lose anything except a little bit of time. Maybe you can, maybe you can't afford that. But I wouldn't worry that much about it. You can get very similar performance from other chips. You should not be thinking that the world is going to blow up if you don't run out and spend your hard-earned on this specific XRD chip. So anyway, I thought that was interesting. Thought I'd make a quick video about it and just post. It's an 8-core, 16-thread part. This is comparing it to the 9700X. It should game much better as far as frame rate thanks to the Vcache, but maybe not as much as you would think, but it should definitely be better, especially in certain titles. So anyway, that's it, guys. Have a good one, and we'll talk to you in the next Doing Bart Things while I make a new video. Appreciate you.